Well, welcome back to Mr. Obsolete's Vintage Homesteading channel. Today our chore is going to be doing some pioneering. Go out and cut down some small trees, process some more wood. Pioneer chainsaws are my second favorite chainsaw. I use them quite a bit. Main saws I use are McCullough's, but these are a close second. In power, performance, and longevity, the Pioneers are every bit as good as the McCullough's. They're made in Canada. This is a small homeowner saw. It says Easy Arc right here, and what that is a compression release for the weenies out there. So it starts really easy, pulls through really easy. But I'll give you a little brief on it here, get my info out. This is a Model P20. It's 51cc, runs at 7,500 RPM, which is fairly slow for compared to a modern saw. But the thing that's different on the modern saws is they run at high RPM, but they don't have any torque, and torque is what actually does the cutting. And this has a lot of torque, so it's still, even though it has a relatively low chain speed, cuts quite good. It weighs 9 pounds and 10 ounces. Would run up to a 20-inch bar. They made this particular model with a few changes from 1973 to 1982. 83 they went out of business. And why do I like vintage saws? Well, we have a lot in common. We're both old, we're both obsolete, but everything still works. And these saws and most of the old saws don't like hot weather. And I'm allergic to working in hot weather, just like the saws. These little saws will heat the fuel up and vapor lock, and then you have to let them cool off to get them to start again. There's still a lot of these on the job, and even though they went out of business fairly early, they're well enough made. There's a lot of them around, but parts availability is really poor for them. But you know, this one's been on the job for 43 years, so that's not bad. So we'll get our stuff here. To be an authentic Pioneer person here, got to get out my actual Pioneer safety hat, and we'll see out the processing area. Okay, well, we're down here to take out a couple of small trees. This one's cut off, but it's caught up in a tree, and then there's another branch here it's caught. This we're going to take out. It's leaning over and it's dead. What we'll have to do is cut it like you would on a branch on a tree. We'll put a cut here, and then we'll come down just slightly and cut it, and that way it'll give it a hinge. And since it's got the weight going this way, it'll drop right back in here. So I'll get my eyes and ears on. And on the chainsaw, you know, it's fairly cool out today. You have to warm these things up properly. So what I'll do is start it, and I'll give it a little bit of throttle and stuff if it bogs down, it's too cold. And then once it warms up enough, it'll pick up the speed and stuff, then it's time to cut. But it's important to warm them up. The new saws are much worse because if you rev them up from cold, you can get what's called a cold seizure. The piston will lock up into the cylinder and junk out the top end of the saw. The older saws have more clearances in them, so they're not so bad, but they still need to be warmed up. So here we go. Your muff came off here. Put the choke on, set the throttle, ignition on. went pretty well through, but it's caught up. There we go. So now I've got that down. Bring that around here a little bit. Get my mat here and we'll cut the stump off. There we got a nice clean cut there. Here you can zoom in, see where the hinge area was right here. And it would have dropped exactly down except for it was hanging up in the tree there. But anyway, it's down. So we'll get some more stuff processed. Be back in a bit. Okay, we got it down. Cut up in the tree here at the very top. So what I'm going to do, since it's off the ground, got the pressure, I'll cut from the bottom up carefully. I'll drop and I can pull this out. And then I hopefully can get that out of the tree and haul it out of here too. There we go. Okay, we'll be back in a minute. Okay, well, we got both pieces down. So I'm going to pull them up here and we're going to make a bundle here. And then we'll bring down the little tractor and pull them up, put them in the sawhorse and cut them up. Okay, well, we got them up here, so we're going to limb them now. Just to hold on to them like that. There again, a 45-degree angle. Big one here. This one's dry, so it'll be a little harder to cut through, but El Chapo here. Three chops, not bad. That's the last one here. Okay, we'll bring the sawbuck over and get them loaded and we'll be right back. Okay, well, we got the sawbuck set up, so we'll start loading these up. These are fairly long, so what we're going to do, put them in where there's going to be a fair amount on either end. Okay, those are pretty good. Get the eyes and ears on, get the saw running. So you can see that you can still do a lot of work with a minimal saw. You'll notice when I'm cutting, the engine speed doesn't drop a whole lot. And that's why, it's, like I say, it cuts good for what it is. It has torque, and torque is what does the work. You can have a high horsepower saw, but when it gets down to a load, they don't cut it. If you look at the new saws, a lot of them run 14,000 RPM. But when they get into a load, they drop down to 9. The old saws, the bigger saws, like I use, they run at 9,500 wide open. When they're cutting, they run at 9 because they have torque and horsepower both. So anyway, we have some more trees to get down out of there, but we need a bigger tractor. So this will be it for today. So remember, vintage is always better.